Kia ora, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day. Welcome to Tuhano Health, where we connect hearts, minds, systems to build healthier, more empowered individuals, system, and the world at large. In the spirit of Mental Health Awareness Week, I bring this very short episode to remind us to take steps in taking care of ourselves and protecting our personal space. Today's episode is a little personal because it's about protecting your peace. And most times when we don't protect our peace, we find ourselves in trouble, all manner of trouble. It's about recognizing people, patterns, events, families, relationships, environments that drain us and learning how to step away from these situations or these environments with dignity. And to guide us, we are using a simple but powerful analogy. The mosquito spray. Yep, the mosquito spray. I got this analogy from someone I follow on Instagram the other day. She is Reb Idahosa. You should see her content. Very mature, very nice, very educative. Now, picture this. You are outside on a warm evening. The air is calm. The stars are out. And everything feels peaceful. But then, mosquitoes. If you live in a tropical area, you understand what I mean. One by one, they start biting, they start singing, they start disturbing you. You swat them away, but they keep coming. Eventually, you reach for your mosquito spray. Not because you hate them, not because you hate nature, not because you hate insects, or probably, but because you need to protect your personal space. Now think about your life. Who or what are the mosquitoes disturbing you? Who are those? What are those? Maybe it's a friend who always brings drama. You know that friend? That colleague who always undermines you. That family member who never respects your boundaries. Who never see you for anything. Who always see you or want to see you with the narrative they've created in their head about you. Who always say, this person will never amount to anything or anything good, and hold on to it. There are people in our lives, especially close family and friends, who think we will not amount to anything. And then they hold that mindset in their mind. They use it to speak to us. They use it to communicate with us. Or is in your office where colleagues undermine you. Senior staff see you as nothing. Or is it in relationships where your spouse or your partner, talk down you, abuse you, especially abuse? I mean, the emotional, psychological, physical, sexual, financial abuse. What is that thing? Who is that thing that do not respect your boundaries? Do not respect your no or your yes? Or maybe it's a habit, a way of thinking that you've developed over the years that keeps you stuck in that circle of self-doubt. I cannot do this. I am not good enough. I cannot achieve this. See this mosquito spray or whatever brand you have where you are? That's your boundary. That's your decision to say, enough. I choose peace. I choose to take care of myself. I choose my mental health. I choose my mental space. I choose my spiritual clarity. Now let's talk about toxicity and mental health. In mental health, we often focus on internal struggles like depression, anxiety, trauma. Trauma is broad, But external factors matter also. Toxic relationships, environment, jobs, expectations can erode your well-being. just as much as any diagnosis. I see some kind of expectations like witchcraft. Yes. You know, those, yes, some kind of expectations, some kind of environment, some kind of things that we put ourselves into. I see it like some spiritual warfare, some witchcraft. It's not only when you find people or when you imagine people or some beings being in coven at the middle of the night. That's when you think it's witchcraft. No, sometimes the people we put around us, the people we live with, the voices that we hear, the toxic voices that we hear are the witchcraft. They are the village people, according to Nigerians. You know, and these things can wipe away your well-being. Gradually, you will be eroding, your health will be going down on a down spiral, will be going down. You wake up today with headache, tomorrow with stomach ache, especially the stomach. The gut gives us a lot of signal that we tend to ignore. Medical science call it so many names. Right? Some people say it's peptic ulcer. Others say it's duodenal ulcer. All manner of things. Our instincts tell us so many things that we ignore. Any diagnosis, most diagnoses that we get, especially as we get older, in our late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s and above, most of the diagnoses we are getting is because of the toxicity of our environment, the kind of relationship, the kind of mindset, the kind of people, the kind of voices we allow to fill our heads. Now, here is the kicker. Sometimes we tolerate toxicity because that is what we are taught to. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Please, if you're listening to me today and you are taught to bear toxicity of any kind, know that that person, no matter who the person is or was to you, was very toxic to you. That person is or was an enemy to you. Whatever bothers your mental health, whatever kind of abuse, you know, when they put you down and expect you to, just take it because they are family, when they go around with all the smearing campaign, smear your name, disorganize your lifestyle, refuse help from coming to you, and then the elders in the family turn around and say, he's your sibling. He's your country person. He's this, he's that. Those people don't like you. Begin to wipe away some people. Begin to use some boundaries, some mosquito spray. Chase away those mosquitoes. We are told to be loyal. Loyal. We are told to be patient. To forgive endlessly. But how long? How long will you forgive? How long will you let go? I know the Holy Book says 70 times 7, as long as, yes, we forgive. But do we really forget? Do we really forget? I remember this analogy of, the heart. Say I was holding my heart in my hand, right? I got stabbed one time, and then the heart begins to heal. I forgive, I let go that one time, and it begins to heal. As I'm moving on, I get stabbed again. It begins to heal. It continues to heal, right? Again, in that little healing that the heart is having, another person or another event stabs my heart again. How long do you think, if this was a real hurt, how long do you think it was going to last? That's the question about forgiving, letting go, and allowing yourself to go through that situation again. Allowing yourself to be that person for those people again. Because the thing is, people groom us. When you are an empathic person, right? People groom you because you show love always. When you meet someone, you begin to love, and most people take advantage of the kind of person you are, right? And they begin to groom you into submission, into being that person they can hurt and get away with. Most people are like that. I digress. I wanted to make this very short. But if protecting your peace is the most loving thing you can do for yourself, please do it. Because you are not only doing it for yourself, you'll be doing it for others too. You'll be doing it for the family that will come from you. If you're a family person, if you want to have children, you're doing it for your children. You're doing it for future relationships. You're doing it for your professional career, business life. You're doing it for the thing or the things that you will meet or become after you begin to set your boundaries, you begin to use your mosquito spray. So you're not just doing it for yourself, you're also doing it for others. You're doing it for the future. So this is an example of a young woman working in healthcare who finds herself constantly belittled by her manager. Now, this story could spread across different lives, different careers, different places. It could be belittling by family, by friends, right? It doesn't have to be in healthcare. I'm using an example of someone in healthcare that I know because I'm in healthcare, right? It could be in academia. It's mostly in academia. And that's not to put down anyone, but academic people, Now, this lady began to doubt her skills. She began to doubt her worth, her voice. Her voice became less of who it truly was. She began to feel anxious. Every morning she had to go to work. That anxiety was there. She began to feel fear. And that fear began to fuel anger and desperation. She was already on a survival mode, and then she was going to this space where she was moving around with hatred in her heart. And that was eating her up. Now, when she sought counsel, and she finally began to speak up, she spoke up, then walked away. She walked out of, that place. This lady's confidence returned. Her confidence didn't just return. She began to glow. Her skin alone began to glow. Her dressing changed. The way she spoke changed. Her spirit was lifted. Why? She spoke up and left a toxic environment. That's the mosquito spray in action. That's your autonomy over your life in action. That's boundaries set in action. Now, in the Maori language, mana motuhake is about autonomy. You having, that control over your peace. Having that control over your personal space. It's about standing in your power. The part of that is knowing when to walk away. When to walk away from settings, from situations, from people. It's about setting boundaries. Setting boundaries isn't weakness. It is strength. It's saying I honor myself. I honor my time. I honor my energy. And I also respect you. I don't want to trouble you. I don't want to say things that will hurt you and I'll regret later. So I'm going to walk away. I'm going to set this boundary. Now, this applies to every system. It applies to systems. It applies to career too. If a workplace or a policy or a service is harming your well-being, it's okay to challenge it. I know many people will not agree. Challenging the government, especially when you are from a middle-income country. How can you do that? Or challenging spiritual authorities? This one. I think we need to have a separate episode on challenging spiritual authorities. I did it once and I almost regretted it. I challenged in a church, I challenged why women were being asked to contribute money. Because the reason wasn't clear. Was it to build the altar? Was it to buy flowers? Was it to put some decoration? The reason wasn't clear. And I wanted to, I mean, it was during the pandemic, right? So I wanted to be sure where my money was going. And it was as though I challenged the whole authority or the whole spiritual authority on earth. It's not supposed to be so. It's not supposed to be so. It's okay to challenge policies. It's okay to challenge relationships. You're in a relationship you don't understand. It's okay to say, my dear friend, what is happening? I noticed this happened. I noticed that. If you're in a space where you can't call out the person because you've been groomed, the relationship has groomed you not to be able to speak, then you're in a toxic place. It's okay to demand better. In life, it's okay to demand better. In relationships, it's okay to demand better from family. Treat me better. No, don't treat me that way. Don't treat me as if I'm a nobody. Don't treat me as if I'm not part of this family. Don't treat me as if you and I will not sit in the same place, in the same room tomorrow and bear the same name. Don't treat me as though it's not the same blood that flows through our veins. Don't treat me as if we are not family. If you think I'm not good enough to be your family, then the hell I'm going to stay away. And if I'm staying away, it means you are also staying away from me. Guys, protect your peace. Protect your space. And if you're spiritually sensitive, once you detach and hold on to God alone, you will see your collective health begin to change. Everything around you begin to change. Everything around you begin to change. You may start from the beginning. If these people who, controlled your health, who controlled your peace, used to be your providers, they used to help you financially, they used to support you, right? Especially financially. They were doing that because they could control you. Now that you can't bear it anymore and you want to, just take control of your time, take control of, your space. You won't find it that easy, especially if you live somewhere where they can have access to you. You won't find it that easy. They'll bother you. If you're spiritually sensitive or if you're a spiritually inclined person, whatever your religion, that is when you should go closer to the God you believe in more. That is when you should know God more. That is when you should pray more. Now, I'm not encouraging any religion. I'm encouraging that, of course, we should know that there's a being we all believe in. Christian, Muslim, Buddhism, Hinduism, yeah. They're different religions. And everyone believes that, okay, there is this being, this spiritual, supernatural being, this creator, right? Some people call it life. Some people call it nature. So there is a being you believe in, that is when you should get closer to God more. That is when you should lay bare before your Creator. Lord, I'm living this toxic environment. I want to protect the peace that you've given me. I want to begin to enjoy the promise. The promises. You say your thoughts towards me are thoughts of peace. I want to begin to enjoy that peace. How do we apply this in real life? There are 3 steps to apply the mosquito spray analogy. First of all, identify who or what is draining you. Be honest. In fact, write it down. Write it down like a vision. Who is that person? Who is that person? Or what is that situation that is draining you? That thing you wake up panting over every morning. That thing you wake up and realize, oh, I'm still in this situation. Or I'm still with this person. Or I'm still in this environment. Sometimes you do things because you need help from people. Right? You become a people pleaser. You don't like what they tell you to do. You don't like the situation they put you in. But you can't just stop. You can't just stop. Right? Write it down. That thing that gives you nightmares, write it down. Then you choose your spray. What do I mean choose your spray? I don't mean go to the grocery store or some superstore to go and start choosing physical spray. What I mean is, what boundary do you need? Is it a conversation you need to have? Is it a break? Is it a complete exit? Just protect your peace and follow through. Don't apologize for it. Sometimes you're scared of completely, exiting relationships because you feel, what would this person say? Sometimes how these people are so toxic that when you exit that relationship, they are going to raise smear campaign against you. They are going to talk ill of you. They are going to, say so many things about you. They are going to bring you down in one way or the other, with people. They are going to stop help from coming to you. So if they knew you were going to Mr. A to seek a particular help, they'll go to Mr. A and cancel it. They will make sure they do everything. Spiritually, physically, all manner of manipulation. They'll put it out there to stop help from getting to you. But because they are not God, you shouldn't be concerned. Follow through. Don't ever apologize for keeping the distance from toxic environment and toxic people. Don't apologize. Anyone you find toxic, cut them off. Anything you find toxic, anything you find, if I think of this thing or I think of this person, my heart begins to shake, right? Use the mosquito spray. Recently, a student came to a friend of mine and said she constantly feels pressure to meet family expectations. This is an international student, right? With that constant expectation of you are abroad now, you need to send money. You are abroad now, things should be different. And you don't know what this person is going through, right? And some of their expectations is conflicting with her own dreams. She sought counsel. Not even professional therapy. She sought counsel. She sat down, finally, with her parents and those family members and shared her truth. Look, this is what I'm going through. This is what I feel about what you guys are doing to me. This is why I am doing what I'm doing. It was hard. There were tears. There were quarrels. But she did it. And immediately she did that. She didn't get any apology from the parents or the family members. But she got healing. She got healing. Now, they all understood that it's not as if our daughter is rejecting her culture, right? She herself, she understood that she's reclaiming her voice. My dear friends and family, protecting your peace is not selfish. It's sacred. It's not selfish at all. Because these people you are pleasing, if anything happens to you today, they'll move on with their own lives. They will be happy. No matter how you displease yourself to please them, it's not even worth it because they will not even appreciate it. So whether it's people, places, or patterns, if something is biting at your spirit, you have the right to reach for the spray. Reach for the spray, guys. Reach for the spray, ladies. Reach for the spray, guys. You have the right to say, I choose my peace. I choose my manner. In Maori, they call it manner. I choose me. What does manner mean? Manner means spiritual power. You choose your authority, the authority you have over yourself and your space. You choose your prestige, your influence. You choose your charisma. You choose to be this person. I've given so many examples using myself, but then again, we've promised to keep this video short, right? You choose to keep that thing, that good thing about you, that authority, that prestige that you either inherited or you earned through actions and achievements. So this week, I invite you to reflect. What are the mosquitoes in your life? What boundaries do you need to set? What conversations do you need to have? Who is that person you need to cut out as you're listening to me now? Who is that? What is that situation you need to stay away from? You need to exit without explanation. How can you honor your well-being without guilt? Send me your thoughts and stories and reflections in the comment section. You can also DM me directly or my email. I'll leave it somewhere. I would love to hear how you're reclaiming your space wherever you are. Until next time, be brave, be kind, and protect your peace. See ya. Thanks for joining me.